And welcome to this week's edition of the GRC Sports Show. I'm Austin Curtis.
I'm Brent Stevens.
I'm Hunter Osborne.
And today we're going to talk a lot of things about GRC, diving, boys and girls basketball, UK basketball, football for GRC, and recruiting news. First, we're going to start out with diving. Colby Coleman, the winner of the region diving title, again for the second straight year in a row. He signed with the UK. He scored a 5.12 on 11 dives, and he broke the Trainsy School record. Brent, what do you think about that?
Well, he's definitely set the standard high for fellow GRC swimmers in the future. He's just been outstanding here at GRC, and he will be really great for this program.
Definitely. Now we'll transition a little bit into girls basketball. They killed Pendleton 67-42. The record's 15-10. Hunter, what do you think about that game?
It was a good performance. Something the Lady Cards needed. Hopefully, get a little momentum going into the, as we, go on towards the district tournament, region tournament. Because we, after past history, we've seen the girls had a lot of success, and we'd like to see some more of that this year. Hopefully, they can use this game as some momentum and carry them into the postseason.
They were really led in scoring by mainly underclassmen. Lexus Graham had 7, Paige Taylor had 7, Maddie Hamlin had 12, and Carrie Irvin had 8. Brent, if these underclassmen can click with the seniors, how far do you think they can go?
I think they go far in the region, and maybe in the state. You also forgot Sandra Skinner there. She's been a consistent big girl down there for them. But they've had a lot of success in district over the past seasons. Region, they have to get past Montgomery County, but if they can do that, the state is theirs.
Definitely. Well, we'll be back in a moment with GRC boys basketball.
And welcome back to the GRC Sports Show. Now we're going to talk a little bit about boys basketball for Clark County. A lot to cover. Most recently, a loss at Simon Kenton last Friday. Brent, how did that game go for the Cards?
It was a tough loss. They were outscored in the first 3 quarters, lost 71-60. Charlie Rogers led the way with 17 points. Bopper Stenzel had 16. Adam had 14. First loss in a while, drops them to 23-5. Still highly ranked in the top 25. Still number 1 in the Region 10. But it was a tough loss for them.
Absolutely. And also some other big games. Mason County, North Laurel, South Laurel. Austin, you were at the Mason County game. It's here at home. Tell us how that went.
Great environment to play in. We really came out, supported our Cards, and they really came out, and it looked like they kind of responded to it. They played very well, beating them 59-44. Bopper had 24. Fackin had 16. Really, Mason County, they ran man for the most part of the game, and I think that's why Bopper really went off this game.
Absolutely.
I don't think he can be stopped in a man-to-man defense. Do you agree with that, huh?
I would agree with that. Bopper, he's probably, top 5 player, and, in the region they have him listed as that. I think he's better than that. I think he has the potential to be the best player in the region. Definitely the best point guard by far. He's definitely a playmaker, great player, has a great basketball IQ, and, love to see where he takes his career past high school. But he's a great player, and he would be the guy I would want to lead my team if I was Scott Humphrey.
Yeah.
He can really hurt teams in transition.
He really, when he goes to the basket in transition, he can finish with either hand. He is left-handed, and most people, it's hard to stop a left-handed player as it is. And when you're going in full speed in transition, he's really hard to stop.
Yeah. And also, can't forget senior night. The Cards defeated South Laurel 59-40. Guys, tell us a little about that game.
It was a great game for the Cards, led by Adam Thacken with 20 points. Bopper Stenzel and Taylor Howard both had 13. Senior Andrew Howe really helps Adam every day in practice. Adam and Trevor, all the other big guys, great defensive player, had 7 points in his first start. Really a solid game.
Definitely a solid game. It was good to see Howie come off the bench. Trevor hit a buzzer beater at the end of the game, hit a 3 from 3/4 of the court, banked it in. There's really nothing better than that. Now we'll talk a little bit about UK basketball. The dominance that is 25-1, 11-0 in the SEC. Had a tough game against Vandy. Hunter, tell us a little bit about that.
Tough game. I think it was one that was definitely needed for Cal's Cats. A tough environment. Any coach in America will tell you that Vandy is one of the tougher places to play, and for the one reason being the benches on the ends of the court. You can go anywhere else in the country, and the setups are pretty much the same. Benches, on the sideline. Well, now they're down on the baselines. When you're going to that opposite end, how hard would it have been for Marcus Teague, calling plays? You had to get that off the inbounds instead of going up the court. It's like you can turn around and ask coach, what to do while, in the middle of the play. So a very tough environment to play in. But, you know, it was one that was definitely needed for the Cats. And how about Anthony Davis? How about him?
I mean, he's a player of the year, defensive player of the year, freshman of the year, maybe #1 draft pick. I mean, he could be all of those. I mean, he is just an incredible player, averaging 14 points and almost 10 rebounds a game. I mean, he makes a block in every big situation. He is just an incredible player.
Definitely.
He's probably the best player, player-wise, that Calipari's had.
I think so. You know, I think he adds up to the Marcus Camby era that Cal had back at UMass. A lot of people forget about that, but Camby was definitely a dominant big man, about like Anthony Davis is. You know, a lot of UK fans can go back to that. You know, the '96 team that went all the way had to go through UMass.
Yep.
So, you know, definitely comparing him to him. But all in all, I think Davis is one of the best players to come through UK. And how sweet would it be for him to stay another year?
Thank you all for coming to my signing with Austin Peay State University.
There we go. I'm here with Tiffany Toller, just recently committed to Austin Peay. Tiffany, congratulations.
Thank you.
You've had a lot of success here at GRC. How do you plan to carry that over into college?
My freshman year, I want to be top 5 on the roster and make it to regions after conference.
How did your year go this year?
I was injured the majority of the season, but we went to state and then I went to Foot Locker Nationals, so it was good overall.
How did you do in nationals?
I was 42nd, I think.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Stay tuned for more.
Everybody come out. It's a big day for me. Y'all appreciate it. Thank you. I'll sign
Here, Mr. KB Johnson, varsity running back coach and freshman assistant coach. What do you plan on achieving as running back coach?
Well, I'd like to have every boy out there achieve great success. At our varsity level, I'd like to have 3 1,000-yard rushers if we, of course, run the ball enough. That's hard to do, but at least one. And have an offensive line that's going to have nice holes for us, and our running backs to appreciate the offensive line in front of them so we can have a good team atmosphere.
What experience do you have in football?
Well, I played running back in high school and a year at Army and college. And I've coached running backs for about 3 years, and my 9 years of coaching experience at the high school and middle school level.
Everybody wants to know, would you run your 40 in?
I ran a 40 in 4.5 in high school and college. So compare that to Justin Harris, that I ran that probably about a quarter to a half step right behind him.
It's pretty impressive. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you. Look forward to.
And welcome back to the GRC Sports Show. I'm Hunter Osborne, and I'm here with new offensive coordinator for the football team, Coach Brandon Brewer. Brandon, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good.
Nice to meet you, Hunter.
You know, you came here from Montgomery County with Coach Steve Collins. What made you want to follow him here to Clark County?
Well, I've been in Montgomery for 6 years. We played against Clark for 4 or 5 years, and just seeing a lot of things on film over the last 6 years or 4 or 5 years, getting to watch those guys play. Coach Collins, I've been working with him the last couple of years offensively. I really like what he does. It's a fun offense to coach in. It's a fun offense for the kids to play in. It's wide open, big plays. It's a lot of excitement. Just having an opportunity to branch out. I've been over there 6 years. You kind of get to where you're in the rut, I guess, or and you just it's a profession where you get to when you have a chance to move around, be able to surround yourself with other people and your network. It's just a good opportunity.
Looked like a fun offense to play in. Also, past coaching experience, playing experience. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. I played college football. Originally, I'm from Powell. I played at Powell County High School. Played college football at Union College. Graduated from there. Went to work. Coached at Powell County High School for a couple years, and then went to East Carter High School, coached there for 2 years. Actually won 8+ games in those 2 seasons. The second year I was there, which I was an offensive line coach there and defensive line coach. The second year I was there, we hosted the first home playoff game in like 13 years there, which was pretty exciting. I've been at Montgomery County High School. This will be my 6th year. We hosted our first home playoff game there in like 15 years. So those are both very exciting milestones for both those programs, and being part of that was very exciting. Coached in 13 playoff games. This is my 10. I've got 10 years of varsity coaching experience. So it's still just scraping the iceberg. I mean, I just want to get around more people and just trying to learn as much as I can really right now at this point in my career.
All righty. Well, that's Coach Brewer, and we'll be back with more of the GRC Sports Show.
These guys that I've been able to assemble right now, one of the best staffs I've been a part of in 20 years of doing high school football. And there's a lot of playing experience on this staff. There's a lot of coaching experience on this staff. And there's a lot of knowledge on this staff. But the biggest thing is every one of these guys right here has the same philosophy. We're about these kids here at GRC first. We want to see them be successful. We want to see them do well, football-wise, academic-wise, in the community, whatever the case may be. And we're here to help them do that. But these guys, I mean, I can't say enough about them already. We haven't been on the field yet, and I'm very, very excited to have them. I'll start here on the left. This is KB Johnson. He's coming on board. He teaches here at GRC already. He's going to be coaching our running backs and assisting with the 9th grade. Bob Howard teaches here at GRC as well already. He's going to be our head 9th grade coach and assisting with us on Fridays. Elton Parrish is also here in the building already. Is going to be coaching our outside linebackers on the varsity. James Stoltz, he's our defensive coordinator, coaching inside linebackers, also here in the building. Dustin Howard will be coaching our offensive line, defensive line, already in the building. So you can kind of see we got a little theme going. We got all of us pretty much inside the building, which is going to help. Brandon Brewer coming with me over from Montgomery County, going to be coaching in the business and coaching offensive line, defensive line. Also offensive coordinator, helping with the strength program with James and Brandon Powell, who's not here yet. And Robbie Graham, who's my latest, greatest addition right here, coming on board to kind of help us in off the field roles and things of that nature. And we're very thrilled that he's going to be with us too. So as you can see, we got everybody but about 2 people. We got 2 more positions we're looking to hire, and then we'll have a complete staff. We are talking to some people outside the system right now. I don't want to throw any names right now just in case they haven't told their powers to be that they're not coming back or something. But we'll hopefully have those by spring practice, which begins April 9th or mid-March. Get those guys on board and go from there. But again, very excited for these guys.
And welcome back to the GRC Sports Show. Today I have new GRC head football coach Steve Collins. Coach Collins, thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
This job at GRC, what most about it interested you?
Well, just number one, the familiarity that I have with the program. I haven't coached against the GRC the last 2 years, and knowing what it's about, the community I'm kind of a part of, and been in this area. So it's just a lot of factors, but then also the potential. The kids that I've seen come through here in this program, and I think we can do some very, very good things.
At Montgomery County, you ran kind of a pistol spread offense. Do you plan to do the same thing here?
Right. We're going to stick with what we call the flex gun offense. It's kind of a hybrid of the flex bone that you see, but we're actually in a pistol, kind of a shotgun formation. We're back behind it, and we've got either 2 receivers or 4 receivers or 3 running backs, depending on our personnel at the time. So we're going to be very multiple in what we try to do in the tactic.
In GRC's past couple of seasons and their schedules, played a lot of Lexington teams, played a lot of teams around Lexington. Do you plan to keep that the same or change it up?
Well, this year for sure. This is the year 2 of a contract, so we're going to finish up what they did. We're just going to flop the home and away from last year. But then next year, maybe look to expand and get a little more state exposure. We've already talked to the coach at Highlands, and that's a possibility.
Okay.
Get them on schedule to do a home and home for 1 or 2 years, or John Harden, things of that nature. But we want to kind of expand and get ourselves out into the state.
Okay. Thank you, Coach Collins. We'll be back in a minute.
Thank you for watching this week's edition of the GRC Sports Show. Be sure to stay tuned for next week's episode.